Hello everyone, I'm Jay, and this is your weekend review for February 21st to 28th, 2013. Okay, so in video game news, Uncharted 3's multiplayer suite is free to play, kind of. What they've done is given you a very small competitive mode to play in, and you can play that up for free up to level 13. And then once you get to level 13, they will stop you from playing, and then you have to buy either a level cap boost to level 25, or you can get a unlimited level cap boost up to whatever the actual cap is and be on par with everyone who's actually bought the game. They've also limited you to just one mode, so you can't play co-op, you can't play other things, and there's some other things they can't do. So a price breakdown is the actual multiplayer is free. The co-op playlist is £7. The co-op arena is £8. The level cap boost to unlimited is £12. And you can pay for split screen for £2. If you add all this up together, this adds up to about £39. I've actually rounded up, so it'd probably be somewhere near £37. But anyway, in the UK, a retail game normally costs around £40, so you're paying around £40 for the multiplayer suite for a game which isn't bad multiplayer. In fact, it's probably one of the best multiplayers out on the PlayStation 3. I played the beta, it's very good. But it's renowned for the multiplayer. If you think of Uncharted, people think of the single player. So you're paying £40, full price brand new retail game, for the price of just like a third of the actual game you want to be playing. I don't see why anyone would want to do this. It's kind of cool to get like a demo out so people can play the multiplayer and go, oh, it's actually a good multiplayer mode. But then afterwards, if anyone's going to actually buy something, you should probably just slap yourself or do something. Because right now on Amazon, you can buy the Uncharted Game of the Year edition, which comes with a full multiplayer suite, extra DLC, extra skins, which you won't be able to pay, which doesn't include the £30 thing. And that's all for about £13 on Amazon right now. So you can play this, and then as soon as you start thinking about paying for anything, or boosting up, just buy the game, you get the multiplayer, and you get some other things. It's great, so go do that. In exciting news for Sony fans and Nintendo haters, the PlayStation Vita actually outsold the Wii U this week in Japan. Now, this comes before the actual Vita's price drop, which was announced in Japan last week. So we expect the sales of the Vita to go up even more soon. This extra boost in sales could have been because of the PlayStation 4 being announced last Wednesday, and sales could have gone up because the Vita and the PlayStation 4 are supposed to be interconnected. Saying this, the Vita sales should go up even more once the price drop comes. And this is kind of interesting because the Wii U is not a bad console at all. I don't see why anyone would want to buy one though, unless they want to play Zelda games, which aren't even out on the Wii U yet. In world news, the police have found a weed cannon. Now, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a cannon that fires weed. So the story goes like this. For the past few months or weeks, doesn't quite say, border patrols along Mexico and California have found packets of marijuana just strewn across the place, and they've looked like they've just been dumped there. So being able to find these things, but recently, like this week, they have found what's been put in these packages there, and it is a weed cannon. Now, the cannon is quite simply made. It's got a big long tube, big plastic tube, and it's powered by air using an old car engine. And they put the weed in like a little tub, and then this tub is fired, and they go across the border into California. And then I guess people are supposed to pick them up, and sometimes they didn't pick them up. But they've seized this cannon, and it looks stupid, and it's really funny. Now, just a quick reminder, there are very horrible people in the world out there. There's a 22-year-old woman called Elizabeth Jones who has been raped 11 times. Or so she says. So this woman has been accusing people of raping her since she was 13. And on the 11th accusation, she's finally admitted that she's lying. So when asked why she did this, she said it's because she didn't like the guy. In her defense, she hasn't admitted to lying about the other 10 rapes, but it's really hard to believe someone who's been raped apparently 11 times and admitted to lying about the last one. Now, this just really makes me angry because I hate people like this. When someone is raped, their life is going to change dramatically. They are probably going to be a different person, very much stressful, and I feel really sorry for those people. I feel even more sorry for the people that aren't able to say they're being raped, or their rapist has managed to get away free, or whatever's happened. But it really makes me mad when people accuse other people of being raped, because even if you haven't done it and the police let you go, your life is practically ruined. Most people, after they've been accused, they lose their job. they are shunned by the community, and then the chances are they're going to have to move to a different place or a different town or a different country because they won't be able to cope with the repercussions of one acquisition. So yeah, I'm just really dislike this moment. Even it's hard to feel sorry for it at all. Okay, now science news. As humans, I reckon we've been always transfixed on doing the impossible. So at first it was flight, we managed to achieve that, and we've been doing all sorts of things since then. I think this is one of the reasons why superheroes are really quite popular in this world, especially ones like Peter Parker, which are completely normal, and then something coincidental happens and they become this superhero that ends up saving the world. People have even started making their own Iron Man suits with the thingies, and if people like the man they call Spider-Man, who's able to climb buildings with just his hands and feet, or suckers. I can't remember how he does it. But there's a man called Spider-Man who climbs buildings just like Spider-Man. Now, some clever people in Chicago have made a spider suit which gives you spider powers. They're not calling this, but it essentially gives you a spider sense. So it won't let you crawl on buildings and it won't let you shoot webs, but it does give you one of the cooler powers I've always kind of wanted. Imagine if you could sense every snowball in the snowball fight and be able to dodge this. This is essentially what this will be able to help you do. It's a suit that's able to go around your whole body, and then it senses the immediate area around you. And then when a foreign object enters this field, say from here, I might not be able to see this, but it will come in from here, and then the suit will sense it, pressurize the arm, and I will feel that pressure and be able to know that something is coming to this area. Like a spider sense. It gives you a feeling something you won't be able to see or a danger. Now, this is probably not designed to be the ultimate snowball fight defense, but I can see it doing that. But there's people who have made this targeting. I've made this in mind with people like cyclists who often get hit by cars they didn't see coming, or didn't see them coming either way, and some other things like that. And in other clever people news, some people at the Tufts Center of Regenerative and Developmental Biology have done some amazing work with tadpoles. What they've done, they've taken some tadpoles and they've cut out the cells or stumpy cells which would have created a eye, and then they've cut a hole in the tail of the tadpole and they've whacked those cells in there. And they also then injected them with a fluorescent red glowy protein, which would then allow them to see nerves being grown inside this tadpole. Now, this all sounds very sadistic, and it does get even more sadistic later on. But the cool thing is, what they saw is this tail eye started growing these nerves, which they could see, and about half of them entered the spinal system. And from here, they let the tadpole grow, so it's got the two eyes at the front, and they've got this tail eye, and then they started performing experiments on it. And from these experiments, they were able to determine that these tadpoles with this tail eye, after they cut out the other two eyes, were able to detect the LED lights that they were using and be able to react to them. And so wait, so this isn't the first time we see an extra eyes being created, but most of the time it's done near the skull area where these nerves are able to connect to the brain. So this is the first time in direct contact with the brain has been able to give the results of at least perception, if not reaction, which is super cool. In entertainment news, David Paraka, or however you pronounce his name, has said that piracy does not hurt Game of Thrones, or admitted it doesn't hurt as bad as most people make it out to be. Now, he is the director of Game of Thrones, so this statement is very unusual for someone in his position. Most of the time, content creators want people to pay or go onto TV and not pirate the thing so they're able to get money. But he makes the point that the show Game of Thrones is based very much on buzz, as he called it, which is the conversation between people that watch the show. He believes that these conversations that come from people that pirated Game of Thrones have made people watch the actual show legally, and maybe buy DVDs or other merchandise, which I nearly very much did. I pirate sometimes. The last thing I pirated was actually a pirate copy put up by 2Play Productions of their own movie of The Story of Mojang, which I only watched because I didn't have access to a live stream when they were doing it on the Xbox. And then they released it earlier than they actually released the DVD, which I thought was a bit weird. So the day after, I actually bought the DVD or a digital copy of the movie because I liked it. So I pirated something, but I also gave the people the money when I thought they deserved it, which I think is what quite a lot of people do when they pirate things. We've heard quite a lot about a pay-to-view channels on YouTube, But this week it was kind of confirmed in an app update for the Android, where they found some code which says this message, because I can't be bothered reading it. And this basically is a confirmation that we are going to be seeing pay-to-view channels. Now, we don't understand quite how this is going to work. We believe there's going to be about 5 to 6 pay-to-view channels. We don't know what they're going to be. They're going to be brand new ones. Are they going to be something else? Is it going to be quantity over quality? Are we going to do two things? So I thought it was quite interesting. We've now got confirmation. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, and hopefully YouTube will be able to run with this and make it an actual thing. So thanks for watching. I've been Jay Cork. So please like if you like this video, and if you want more, you can subscribe in wherever the subscribey thing is at the moment. And your question of the day, and your question of the week this week is, would you pay to watch channels on YouTube? If so, what existing channel would you like to see? Or what type of shows would you like to see? Would you like to see a cooking show, or would you like to see a show like Video Game High, which has already been funded by the community via Kickstarter? So, that's me, out.